My absolute favorite breakfast is here. This like beautiful view. I will never ever ever take this for granted. Little birds in that light. Light! Where did it go? You guys, it's time for a very low effort video because I didn't feel like doing makeup. I didn't feel like getting like fully dressed. Today is one of those days that just tired, and I'm just like all over the place mentally. Andrew and I are in like heavy preparation mode for a trip and for so many things, and obviously we have like very little time to get things sorted before the baby comes, like things sorted on a very fundamental level, like where are we going to live, how are we going to sustain living in that specific place, how are we going to get this rental set up in time for our trip, how are we going to, just like a lot of little things, visa situations, visas takes a few months usually to get your visa sorted, no matter where you're going to be. We have our visas sorted in Indonesia, but we don't, if we decide to go and spend time in another country, we don't have our visa sorted for that. And if you're in the process of like about to have a baby, you don't really want to live on tourist visas because you don't want to have to leave the country and reset your visa every few months because you can't travel. Like you're going to be postpartum, it's just not safe, not a good idea. And I know people do it. People in the States, they like, have a baby. They work all the way until the day that they have their baby, and then they have their baby, and then the next day they're traveling again. But it's just, for normal people, that's not very healthy and normal. So we don't want to do that. So in general, I feel like in the air there's been this really weird vibe, this like very tense vibe of everybody's stressed out. Everyone is like living in like this perpetual state of dread. I've actually been talking to more people this past week than I normally would talk to. And maybe it's just because I actually feel a little more awake and alive and like more social than compared to normal, because I feel like I'm more active. I feel like there's this energy, and then also just obviously social media, connecting to like the news or whatever's going on. There just seems to be this like energy of dread with like everybody, with the feeling in the air all over the world, not just in the US, all over the world. There seems to be this feeling of dread. It's like this feeling of the unknown. And it's not the same as what people used to go through, I feel like, because in the past, like, the world has experienced every kind of tragedy you can think of, like dying, and I'm like watching like videos of like dying in childbirth or whatever, like, people are going through all kinds of tragedies, losing family members, pain, physical pain, torture, guillotines, genocides, like all kinds of crazy things have already happened in the past. So, why is this generation or this time period supposed to be worse? How is it supposed to even be worse? Because like people have experienced much worse in the past. So why is this like dread? People have experienced worse in the past, and they still didn't mind popping out babies, and they still didn't sterilize themselves over it. They still didn't suicide themselves over it. Why is now different? Why are so many people committing suicide? Why are so many people sterilizing themselves? Why are so many people like, figuratively and literally ending it, totally checking out, just, drugs forever, I just don't want to be in this world, in this life anymore. Why? And like, why is this dread different than the past? Like, I've just been thinking about this. What makes this dread different than the dread of previous generations? I feel like previous generations had dread too. I feel like they had it terribly, but there's something special about this time period that we're living in, that things are changing faster than they ever changed. For many reasons, revelations, access to information, faster than the world has ever experienced. AI is like crazy fast. Quantum computing is happening. Like they're gonna figure out, Andrew was saying, they're gonna figure out how to, within like the next year or so, they'll figure out how to communicate from here to Mars through quantum computing, where you don't even have to like send a phone signal or send like a wireless signal to Mars or whatever. It's like instant communication through like quantum computing, which like, what? Like, I only recently learned about quantum physics and quantum leaping. The spiritual community talks a lot about quantum leaping and manifesting and all these things. Like, this stuff, it just seems to be moving really fast. Like, the realizations that society's having, the information that people are like getting access to, and it for me for the past few years, it really has felt like, oh, this is just me and my journey and my healing journey, and like I'm changing but everybody else is staying static. You know what I mean? It just has kind of felt like that because I don't know, I'm like stuck in my own journey, I'm in my own head. But like the more I have just time to socialize or connect with the world, like I just feel like it's actually might be just the whole world right now is going through crazy changes, and everybody is being uprooted from their norm, whatever that norm was, whatever was normal to them. They're being uprooted from, they're challenging it, they're questioning it, and there's a sense of dread, and the dread is not from, oh no, I'm sick, oh no, something bad is happening, oh no, like this bad thing is happening. The dread is from, I think a lot of it is from the unknown. Like for a lot of people, they don't have like an immediate impending tragedy happening in their life. Or any struggles or anything wrong per se, but there's still the sense of dread. And I think the dread is from the unknown. It's much scarier when you're kind of living in the unknown and the world is changing in ways that you just could never imagined in this fast of a rate than if you're kind of sure about certain things. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say something really cheesy. Just know that I left my religious community and I like abandoned religion years ago. So I'm not like really saying this with an agenda to any religious community, but I'm just saying this because this is like really, really what's been saving me the past few months. When you're dealing with the unknown and you're just in perpetual state of dread of like what's gonna happen, what's right, what's coming, and just in just a perpetual state of like anticipation of things that there's no answer for, questions that just there's no answers for. When you're in that state of mind, the saving grace is praying basically and believing in a higher power, believing in God, believing in source, if that's what you're gonna call it, believing in creator, believing in Allah, believing in Jesus, believing in whatever your higher power is called, believing in something, believing in what has more power than you, basically. Believing in what knows more than you know. Because there's just so much that you don't know, obviously. But you still want the power of it, and you want to tap into it. There's so much, I was talking to this girl. She was saying that she's here, she's in Bali from Europe. She spent the past almost 10 years working in the same exact job in Europe. And she never wanted to have children. She never wanted to have, like, a family. And I'm going to be saying this wrong. Like, I don't remember the exact context of the conversation. But, like, it was like she just never wanted a family, because in where she lived in Europe, she was surrounded by people that were working really hard, and inflation, and people that had families, they just didn't seem very happy. Like, the women, maybe they would be able to muster out 1 or 2 children, and they would be really stressed out the whole time, really unfulfilled. They obviously were working, because in European society, just like in America now, like, you have to have both partners working. You can't have, like, a man providing, the woman baby making type of situation for a lot of people. So that's how she was surrounded by, and she was just like, well, this looks miserable. I don't want to have a family, like a lot of people in the West are opting for. And she basically, something happened. She got really sick, and then she had, like, this, like, dramatic life change that caused her to quit her job of almost 10 years and leave Europe and start backpacking around the world and end up here in Southeast Asia. And all of a sudden, she's wanting things that she never wanted before, because she's being exposed to things that she wasn't exposed to before, and she's able to dream about things that she didn't know that she could dream about before. So all of a sudden, she's like, hey, maybe starting family sounds pretty cool, because she's being exposed to people and places where starting a family is not a burden. It's actually, like, a fun thing that people do. And believe it or not, that exists in the world. Anyway, I'm totally on a tangent. But she left Europe, and she became exposed to all these ways of living and things that she hadn't been exposed to before. And all of a sudden, she has dreams that she didn't know that she should dream about. And, like, that's just what she's been exposed to. Imagine what you haven't been exposed to. What you didn't know that you should dream about. Imagine all the dreams that you didn't even know you should have. Imagine what's out there that you didn't even know that you should want. Imagine what's out there that you didn't even know that you should know. And that's what believing, to me, that's what praying, manifesting, believing in God, believing in higher power, believing in the unknown, that's what it means to me. Is, like, if I can believe, if I can tap into the power of the unknown, then I have a chance at manifesting the unknown into what I want it to be. So, like, right now, the unknown it's so scary, because it's not even like, am I going to live in this place, or am I going to live in that place? It's so scary because it's like, I don't even know how the paradigm of living is going to even change. So I don't even know what I should want for the future. So that's, like, it's just becoming so scary, because, like, even the basis of, like, what should I plan for is being totally reconstructed. So what if, instead of praying for a specific thing, which I do pray for a specific thing. I pray for wealth, happiness, prosperity, peace, whatever, like, you know, my family. I pray for my family. I pray for me, Andrew, our baby. What if, instead of just praying for the things that I know to pray for, I pray for the things that I don't know to pray for? And there are forces in this world. There's nature. There is human consciousness that spans beyond you. There is energy in the world that is exposed to more unknowns than you're exposed to. That if you can tap into that energy and say, I might not even know what I should be praying for, what I should be wanting, what I should be dreaming about, what is like the best thing for me. But you, this energy source, God, like, you do. You just have more exposure than I do. You're just more omni-focused. You're not limited to me and my brain. And when you can do that, it just changes things around a lot. It makes it really, for me, just seeing the world that way really calms me down. There isn't really, in a world that's just changing and so much unknowns, for me, like, there's only so much self-soothing I can do, you know, and I still do, of course. I'm getting massages, I'm processing my emotions, I'm really into astrology, human design, you know, all kinds of esoteric studying. Like, I'm just really, like, I've just been, like, over the past year, I've been obsessing over every esoteric way of thinking that there is, and I'm still learning, but ultimately, I will never know. I will never know enough. I'll never know what's out there, and I'll never know it soon enough, faster than what the energy knows. I'm telling this to myself. The dread of, like, what can happen is sometimes really strong. There's nothing to do about it but pray, really. But I think that's also, like, very comforting to know that there is really nothing you can do about it other than just focus on one day at a time. Focus on, like, what do I need to do right now? Like, I need to just go through some of our visa documents, and I need to, like, answer a bunch of questions, like, a lot of questions. It's kind of annoying. I kind of don't feel like doing it, but it's just that thing. I'm just going to go through each question step by step. I won't push myself if I don't finish going through all the questions and getting all the documents ready by the end of the day. I won't push myself, but I'm going to, like, little by little, you know, maybe I'll take some TikTok breaks and just watch stupid TikTok videos in between. And if I get stressed out, I'll go for a walk, I'll put some music in, I'll watch a movie, I'll call someone, I'll call a family member maybe, or I'll call someone that I could think of that I never talked to in a really long time. And in the meantime, I'm just going to pray. I'm going to pray for God to put all the right signs in front of us, to put all the right paths in front of us. Because I really feel like there is nothing more effective than that. There's nothing more effective for your nervous system than that. Forget about just for everything else. There's nothing more effective to getting to the dreams that you don't even know that you should be dreaming about than praying. If you don't pray, if you're just focused on, I want the things that I know that I want, just focus on the things that you already know, you're going to be left behind. That's kind of like the way I see it. You don't have to be religious in order to do this, in order to, and you don't even have to believe in God on a fundamental level, because God, even as a concept, is something that you don't understand. That's like the whole point of God, is it's something you don't understand, you don't know. It's not real, it's not tangible. It's real, but it's not tangible. And real is so subjective. God is, on a fundamental level, something that you believe is, and therefore you become connected to. And God would be there even if you didn't believe that God is there. That's the whole point of believing in God. But there is really nothing to me that is going to give you the same boost of energy, satisfaction, the same security, and the same ability to dream about the things that you didn't know to dream about than believing in God. Just look at the wealthiest people in the world, the wealthiest and prosperous. I'm not talking about Elon Musk or like guys that are like have a high net worth but they're miserable and like their families are fucked up. I'm talking about like tribes of people, families, people that like have families and sustainability and prosperity and like, you know, people that have long, healthy lives. Kids, grandkids, cohesive family units. There's a lot of them around the world. There's a lot of them in the Middle East. There's a lot of them in America. Usually, they're very religious. That's how it is. They believe in God, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to be part of a specific religion. You know, like for me, it's a really hard pill to swallow that like I need to believe in God, because like to me, you know, growing up, God was kind of petty and evil. You know, the way I associated God was like, oh, God expects these really unreasonable things from me, and God does really unreasonable things to people. Because I saw God through the lens of like my specific religious perception. But when you look at the world, there's a lot of God-fearing people that are not in your religious sect. They happen to be religious because that's how they were able to like serve God, but it's not their specific religious sect that did it. It's that they're people that believe in God, and they really believe in God, and they do so much in their life to sustain this belief in God, and that's why they happen to be religious and put so much energy and effort into believing in God. But it really works, and so just here's like permission from me that you can pray and you can believe in God. Believe in the unknown. Believe in the power that you are connected to the unknown. The unknown can serve you instead of victimize you, because you're connected to God. God is connected to the unknown, and God is going to carry you through it. And there's only so much you can do to get yourself to where you need to be, because you don't even know right now to dream about things that you don't even know to dream about. So don't hold on to your dreams so tightly. Don't hold on to the things that you think you need so tightly. And I'm telling this to myself. There's so many things that even right now, Andrew and I, we think we need, and we really, 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 really think we need, and we think that we're really desperate. But really, 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 we don't know what the future will bring, and we don't know if those things, and because in the past there's so many things that we thought we needed that we ended up not only not needing, but if we got those things, they would have like really hurt us. They would have not allowed us to become self-actualized in the way that we ended up becoming by not getting those things. So and then at the same time, we became exposed to such bigger things than what we thought we wanted in the past. So pray that you will be connected to the right things, the best things. Pray that you will see signs. Pray for signs. Pray for inspiration. Pray that God communicates to you, because God will communicate to you if you pray for it. And pray to enjoy praying. pray to benefit from praying. Like, pray to be, like, don't be around people that are, like, really nihilistic and like, ugh, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? You know, what's the point of praying? What's the point of praying? God isn't real, whatever, what's the point? This isn't real, that's not real, life sucks. Shit. Just pray to be away from that energy. Pray to be connected to the kind of energy that will propel you towards whatever is good for you and will give you more energy, and will, instead of draining it from you, that will inspire you and make you feel so confident, delusional about your goals, that will give you the kind of goals that you didn't even think that you could even dream about because you didn't even know it was possible. There's so many goals I have now that, like, a younger me would have, like, poo-pooed at. Like, your goal is that you want to, like, live, like, you know, I really, right now, I really am excited about living a very homeopathic, natural lifestyle. Have a natural birth, homeopathic food, remedies, face cream. I know my face looks like shit right now, but, like, face, homemade face masks and oils and just fun stuff. I'm just really excited about this stuff. And, you know, a younger me would have been like, ew, Pardes, like, stop wasting your time. I just want a private chef. That's, you know, younger me wanted a private chef and thought that would be, like, the highest ideal. And the funny thing is that we got to this point where we could actually have a private chef. And we are actually eating out for every meal. And, like, we are actually at that place now. It hasn't been that long, and it doesn't actually require that much money to have a private chef and to be eating at nice restaurants all the time. You know, it just depends on your circumstances. But now that I'm at this point where all of that's available, all of a sudden it doesn't seem very appealing. All of a sudden now I'm excited about making my own food and working in my own kitchen and not having anyone else feed me, because I just want to be I want it to be natural. I want it to be, like, clean. I want it to be the ingredients that I like, that are healthy, like, super healthy, and, like, wow, a younger me didn't even think that this is all possible. And a younger me would have actually heard the sound of my dreams now and not even been able to appreciate or relate to them, because a younger me saw, oh, you cook in your kitchen as a form of poverty. Oh, like, it means that you can't pay someone to, like, help you out. Oh, it means that you don't have access to, like, nice, luxurious stuff. You know, that's what a younger me, because a younger me was limited in the fact that, you know what, having people work for you and clean for you and take care of you and pamper you, that's not luxury. That's actually something that you can have now. You can have it right now. You can have it yesterday. And that's not luxury. And if you want to have it, you can have it. You should want it if you want it. But, like, there is even more than that you can even want. And there's going to be a point where even the things that are, like, your highest ideals right now are going to become boring to you. Your highest ideal right now is, let's say, to get, like, a really nice closet full of beautiful, nice designer bags. You might get to the point where you realize where the curtain is pulled from you, and you might realize, oh my gosh, like, I actually might have access to all these things now. And I could have a whole room full of designer bags now. Or you might get to the, like, oh, I have enough money to afford all this stuff. And then you're like, you know what? I want more, you know? And that's actually really cool. It's, like, the beauty of becoming exposed to more things in the world. It's the beauty of human consciousness, is that the more you know that you can dream about. And the one thing I would never say, and I would really, really actually stay away from anyone that does this, is anyone that stops you from dreaming or tries to limit you in any way from dreaming, I would say stay away from those people like poison. Really like poison. Stay away from those people like Satan. That's what I would say. Stay away from anyone that in any way hinders your ability to dream, to explore, to be inspired. That's really what's going to carry you forward. And the whole point of believing in God is to help you with that too. To help you dream about the things that you don't even know to dream about. That's how human consciousness expands. That's how we become great. That's how we prosper. That's how we become more than just our limitations. Stay away from anything and anyone that limits your ability to expand like that. That tells you, don't want the things that you want. Don't feel the things that you feel. Don't say the things that you say. Don't dream for the things that you dream. Don't have the goals that you have. The goals that you have are so nothing to God or to the universe. Like, they're so easy that once you get to the goals that you had, once you achieve the goals that you had, you're going to realize, wow, I could have had more than this. I could have had this plus so much more. And when people tell you, like, don't dream about the things that you dream about, don't dream about that Birkin bag. Because I see a lot of people poo-pooing on stuff like that. Oh, like, don't dream about your dream car or your dream job or your dream this or that, dream lifestyle, you know? When people tell you that, what they're saying is, like, that's too high for you. But the reality is, like, you can have that and more. You can have so much more than that. That's the reality. That's a reality that I'm exposed to in a very, very, very limited part of the world. I'm just a very limited person, and already I'm exposed to that reality. I'm a very limited person. I'm just one person, and I have just had a few of my limited experiences in life, and that's the reality that I've been exposed to, is you can have so much more than that. That's nothing. You can have a private chef. You can have servants. You can have, and I'm telling this to myself, because the younger me, that was like, okay, what's like the next step for me? I want to have a team of servants in my house that do whatever I want. I want to get massages whenever I want. I don't know. I just really wanted to pay people to do stuff. And it's like, now it's like, I want more. I want more than that. And, but I also want more than I even know to dream about. Alright. I'm gonna see you guys. I'm gonna join Andrew and have some matcha latte and work on some of this visa stuff. And, see you guys later. Smart is this? So I basically just like clipped it to the bottom of this so I don't have to get straps. I just like did that. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so excited for this pizza. And I'm legit mad at myself for not wearing makeup today, but I just didn't feel like it. Today was just one of those days. I did not feel like wearing makeup. How crazy is it that in a few months, there's gonna be this tiny, like, random little human that I don't even know, like a random little human that's gonna be as excited for my boobs as I am for this pizza right here. That's crazy. I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe this stuff is happening. I can't believe I'm living this life. Like, I literally How am I not dead? How am I not dead? This is crazy. Look at this. Look at that. Pizza! It's upside down, this thing. So excited for pizza! Check out Andrew's pizza. Babe, which one looks better, yours or mine?
Mine.
Yours-
Mine's the winner.
You're biased.